Captain Dominique Rodriguez stared at the sensor readings on the bridge of the ISV Helios, her mining freighter's instruments picking up something she'd never seen before. The energy signatures were completely alien, literally. "Harrison, are you seeing this?" she called to her sensor officer. "Those emissions patterns don't match anything in our database." Lieutenant James Harrison's fingers flew across his console, dark skin illuminated by the blue glow of his screens. "Confirmed, Captain. Whatever that ship is, it's not human tech. And..." He paused, adjusting some settings. "They're not alone. 3 other vessels, smaller but heavily armed, circling them like sharks." The Helios had been on a routine mining run to the Kuiper Belt, their holds half full of rare earth elements when they'd picked up the strange signals. Humanity had only achieved reliable interstellar travel 5 years ago, and while they knew there were other civilizations out there, official first contact hadn't happened yet. "Life signs?" Rodriguez asked, her heart racing. This could be humanity's first encounter with alien life, and it looked like they were about to witness a space robbery. "Multiple non-human biosignatures on the larger vessel," Harrison confirmed. "The other 3 ships are crewed too, different species by the look of it. The large ship's shields are failing, and their engine output is dropping rapidly." Rodriguez ran her hands through her short gray hair, mind racing through options. The Helios was a mining vessel, not a warship. But they were also built to survive the harsh conditions of deep space mining. Their hull was reinforced to withstand meteor impacts, and their mining lasers, while not designed for combat, could cut through solid rock. "What's our ethical obligation here, people?" she asked her bridge crew. "We're not equipped for combat, but we're watching a crime in progress." Chief Engineer Patel spoke up from his station, his voice carrying the weight of decades of experience. "Those pirates probably think they're safe out here. Nobody expects a human mining ship to intervene. We could use that to our advantage." "Ma'am," Harrison interrupted, "I'm picking up a distress call. It's broadcasting on all frequencies. They're asking for help from anyone who can hear them." Rodriguez straightened in her command chair. First contact was supposed to happen through official channels, with diplomats and ceremonies. Instead, humanity's first interaction with alien life might be a rescue mission against space pirates. "Sound battle stations," she ordered, her voice firm. "Patel, what can you do with our mining equipment that might surprise our uninvited friends out there?" The engineer's face lit up with the kind of grin that usually meant he was about to do something either brilliant or terrible. "Those magnetic grapples we use for asteroid capture? With some quick modifications, we could turn them into makeshift EMP projectors. Might not penetrate military-grade shields, but they haven't seen human tech before, they won't be prepared for it." "Harrison, plot an intercept course. Tactical, power up the mining lasers but keep them in standby mode. Let's see if we can solve this diplomatically first." Rodriguez took a deep breath. "Open a channel to the pirate vessels." The main view screen crackled to life, showing a humanoid figure with scaled skin and bioluminescent patches. The pirate captain looked startled to see a human face. "This is Captain Rodriguez of the International Space Vessel Helios. You are engaged in an act of piracy against a vessel in distress. Stand down and withdraw, or we will be forced to intervene." The pirate captain's translator took a moment to process her words, then they laughed, a harsh, clicking sound. "A mining vessel? Leave now, primitive species. This is not your concern." Rodriguez smiled, but there was no warmth in it. "I was hoping you'd say that. Patel, show them what human mining equipment can do when we get creative." The Helios's massive magnetic grapples, designed to capture and move asteroids, swung into position. Patel had already begun his modifications, transforming mining tools into weapons in ways their designers had never intended. "Last chance," Rodriguez broadcast. Withdraw, or discover why the rest of the galaxy might want to think twice about underestimating humanity. The pirates responded by launching a spread of missiles toward the Helios. Rodriguez nodded to herself, they'd made their choice. All hands, she announced shipwide, prepare to make history. Let's show the galaxy how humans handle bullies. She turned to her tactical officer. Target their engines with the mining lasers. Patel, on my mark, hit them with everything we've got. Let's teach them why picking on the new kids in the galaxy was a very bad idea. The next few minutes would change the course of human-alien relations forever, and prove that humanity's reputation for turning industrial equipment into surprisingly effective weapons was about to become legendary throughout the galaxy. The Helios shuddered as Patel's modified grapples discharged their electromagnetic pulse. The pirates clearly hadn't expected a primitive mining vessel to have such capabilities. Their formation broke apart as the lead ship's shields fluctuated wildly. Direct hit on the lead vessel, Harrison reported, excitement clear in his voice. Their shield harmonics are destabilizing. They've never seen this kind of electromagnetic interference pattern before. Rodriguez watched as the pirate ships scrambled to regroup. Status of the civilian vessel? Still holding together, but barely, Harrison replied. Wait. I'm getting a transmission from them. The view screen flickered, revealing a tall, arthropodoid being with iridescent exoskeleton. Unknown vessel, this is first speaker Crix of the merchant ship Dawncaller. Your assistance is, unexpected, but greatly appreciated. First speaker, we'll handle the introductions later, Rodriguez responded, noting how the alien's compound eyes widened at seeing a human. Right now, we need to get you out of here. Can your ship still move? Negative. Our primary drive is damaged. An explosion rocked the Dawncaller, cutting off the transmission. The pirates are adapting, Patel warned. They're modifying their shields to resist our electromagnetic pulses. We need something else. Rodriguez studied the tactical display. The Helios's mining lasers were powerful but slow to recharge. They needed another advantage. Her eyes fell on the asteroid field they'd been working in before detecting the distress call. Patel, those grapples, how many asteroids can we control at once? The engineer's eyes lit up with understanding. 3, maybe 4 with the auxiliary power systems. But Captain, if you're thinking what I think you're thinking. I am. Harrison, plot us a course through the densest part of the field. Tactical, prepare the grapples for multiple asteroid captures. Let's show these pirates why humans are considered the galaxy's best improvisers. The Helios surged forward, its powerful engines, designed to haul loads of ore, pushing it deep into the asteroid field. The pirate ships followed, their more maneuverable vessels easily keeping pace. They think they have the advantage in here, Rodriguez murmured. Time to prove them wrong. Patel, begin capture sequence. The Helios's magnetic grapples shot out, latching onto 3 medium-sized asteroids. The pirates, expecting the mining vessel to be hampered by the obstacles, closed in for the kill. Now! Rodriguez ordered. Patel's modifications transformed the precise mining equipment into something entirely different. Instead of carefully manipulating the asteroids, the Helios began spinning, using the captured rocks as impromptu flails. The pirates, unprepared for such unorthodox tactics, scattered to avoid the whirling debris. 2 of their ships are falling back, Harrison reported gleefully. The third one's shields are down to 40% from debris impacts. Rodriguez allowed herself a small smile. Time for Phase 2. Tactical, target their engines with the mining lasers. Patel, prepare for the slingshot. Captain, Harrison interrupted, the Dawncaller's hull integrity is failing. They've got maybe 10 minutes before total structural collapse. Then we do this fast. All hands, brace for high-G maneuvers. The Helios released 2 of its captured asteroids, keeping one in tow. Using the asteroid's mass as a counterweight, the ship began a slingshot maneuver that would have been impossible with conventional spaceship tactics. The remaining pirates, their combat computers calibrated for normal space warfare, couldn't predict the mining ship's erratic trajectory. Engineering to bridge, Patel's voice was strained but excited. The modified grapples are ready for your crazy plan, Captain. Execute on my mark, Rodriguez ordered. The Helios completed its slingshot, now hurtling toward the disabled Dawncaller at speeds that would have been suicidal for a normal rescue attempt. At the last possible moment, Rodriguez gave the command. Mark. The grapples fired again, this time latching onto the Dawncaller's hull. Using their momentum and the asteroid's mass as a brake, the Helios executed a maneuver that violated half a dozen standard space rescue protocols. The 2 ships spun together, bleeding off momentum, as Patel's modified grapples created a makeshift shield bubble around both vessels. Structural integrity holding, Harrison reported, his voice filled with disbelief. We've actually done it. We've got them. The remaining pirate ship, perhaps finally understanding that they were dealing with something beyond their experience, turned and fled into deep space. First Speaker Crix's voice came through the comm again, a mixture of awe and confusion evident even through the translator. Your methods are unorthodox. By all known physics, what you just did should have torn both our ships apart. Rodriguez grinned. Welcome to humanity's approach to problem-solving, First Speaker. We find that impossible is usually just a matter of perspective. Now, let's get your people to safety, and then we can discuss proper introductions. As the Helios began the delicate process of towing the Dawncaller to safety, Rodriguez knew that this incident would be discussed in both human and alien space for years to come. Humanity's first official contact might not have gone according to protocol, but it had certainly made an impression. Harrison, she called, make sure you're recording everything. When we report this to Earth Command, they're going to have a hard time believing it, even for us. As the Helios established a stable towing configuration with the Dawncaller, the bridge crew's moment of triumph was cut short by Harrison's urgent report. Captain, long-range sensors are picking up multiple signatures. 8 vessels just dropped out of FTL. Energy signatures match our pirate friends from earlier. Rodriguez leaned forward in her command chair. They called for reinforcements. First Speaker Crix, are you receiving this? We are, the alien leader's voice was grave. Those are Shadowclaw vessels, the most notorious pirate fleet in this sector. Your mining vessel's ingenuity is impressive, Captain Rodriguez, but even your unconventional methods cannot overcome such odds. With respect, First Speaker, you haven't seen everything humans can do yet. Rodriguez turned to her engineer. Patel, remember that theoretical modification you proposed for our processing systems? The one I said was too dangerous to even test. Patel's eyes widened. The matter-plasma conversion bypass? Captain, that could either give us the power of a small star or turn both ships into a very pretty explosion. Given our options, I'd say it's worth the risk. First Speaker, Rodriguez addressed the alien vessel, we're going to try something that may seem alarming. I need your crew to divert all available power to your structural integrity fields. Captain Rodriguez, Crix's translator couldn't quite capture the mix of concern and curiosity in their voice. What exactly are you planning? Something that will probably violate about 15 different safety protocols. Harrison, how long until those pirate ships are in weapons range? 6 minutes, Captain. Rodriguez nodded. Patel, you have 5 minutes to make it work. Bridge to all hands, this is about to get interesting. Secure all stations and prepare for possible reality distortion. The next 5 minutes were a flurry of activity. Patel's teams worked frantically to modify the Helios's processing systems, designed to break down asteroid materials, into something that defied conventional physics. The Dawncaller's crew, watching through shared visual feeds, witnessed human engineering at its most creative and terrifying. They're actually rerouting plasma through their mining laser array, one of Crix's engineers observed with a mix of horror and fascination. The energy readings, this shouldn't be possible. 3 minutes to intercept, Harrison reported. The pirates are charging weapons. Patel's voice came through the comm, slightly muffled by the sound of rapid modifications. Captain, it's ready. But I should note that this breaks every known law of thermodynamics. Noted, Chief. Humanity's about to add a few footnotes to the physics textbooks. Rodriguez opened a channel to both ships' crews. All hands, this is the captain. What we're about to do has never been attempted before. It might be brilliant, or it might be the last mistake we ever make. Either way, we're about to show the galaxy why humans have a reputation for thinking outside the box. The pirate fleet had arranged themselves in an attack formation, their weapons charged and ready. Their commander, probably expecting an easy victory over a damaged merchant ship and a primitive mining vessel, sent a final warning. Surrender now, and we may let some of you live as slaves. Resist, and we will reduce both your ships to atoms. Rodriguez's response was to activate Patel's modification. The Helios's or processing system, never designed for anything like this, began converting raw asteroid material into superheated plasma. The energy readings went off the charts as the ship's modified mining lasers channeled this power in ways their designers had never imagined possible. Reality distortion field forming. Harrison shouted over the groaning of stressed metal. The pirates, their sensors are going crazy. They can't get a weapons lock. The space around both ships began to warp and twist as Patel's impossible modification created a bubble of altered physics. The pirate fleet's first volley of weapons fire bent around them like light around a black hole. By the first dawn, Crix breathed, watching through the Dawncaller's sensors. You've created a localized space-time anomaly using mining equipment. This goes against everything we know about physics. Sometimes, Rodriguez replied, her hands steady on her command console despite the reality-bending forces around them, the best way to solve a problem is to ignore what everyone knows is impossible. Patel, channel that plasma through the grapples. Let's show these pirates what happens when they push humans to get creative. The modified grapples, already transformed once from mining tools to weapons, now became conduits for forces that shouldn't exist. Streams of reality-warping plasma shot out, not so much damaging the pirate ships as temporarily removing the space they occupied from normal physics. 2 of the pirate vessels simply vanished, reappearing 1,000 kilometers away, their systems completely scrambled. A third spun helplessly, its crew watching in horror as their hull briefly turned transparent. The others are retreating, Harrison reported, his voice filled with awe. They're actually running away. As the remaining pirate ships fled into FTL, leaving their disabled companions behind, Rodriguez allowed herself to relax slightly. Patel, power down that modification before we accidentally create a new form of spacetime. Gladly, Captain. Though I should mention that what we just did will probably be classified as a war crime in at least 3 different star systems. First speaker Crix's voice came through again, their translator struggling to convey their mixture of emotions. Captain Rodriguez, I believe my species will need to seriously reconsider our definition of primitive technology. Your ability to improvise is unlike anything we've encountered in our 1,000 years of space travel. That's humanity for you, first speaker, Rodriguez replied with a small smile. We specialize in doing the impossible, usually because nobody told us it was impossible in the first place. As both crews began assessing the aftermath of their unconventional victory, Rodriguez knew that this incident would change more than just pirate behavior in this sector. Humanity had just demonstrated why underestimating them was a serious mistake, even if you caught them in a simple mining ship. Harrison, she called, begin recording a report for Earth Command. And maybe leave out the part about breaking physics. I don't think they're ready for that paperwork yet." In the aftermath of their reality-bending battle, the Helios's bridge crew worked frantically to stabilize both ships. Warning lights flashed across every console as Patel's impossible modification threatened to tear holes in the fabric of spacetime. "Engineering to bridge," Patel's voice was strained. "We need to power down the plasma conversion system before it goes critical. The laws of physics are apparently filing a formal complaint." "Understood, Chief." "Begin shutdown sequence," Rodriguez ordered. She turned to her sensor officer. "Harrison, status of our guests?" "The disabled pirate ships are dead in space, Captain. Their crews are alive but their systems are completely scrambled. As for the Dawn Caller..." He paused, adjusting his readings. "First Speaker Crix is requesting immediate communication." The alien leader's image appeared on the main view screen, their compound eyes reflecting an array of colors that the human crew's translators identified as indicating extreme agitation. "Captain Rodriguez, while we are grateful for your intervention, your methods have created a situation." Crix's mandibles clicked rapidly. "Our sensors detect a growing quantum instability between our vessels. The space-time distortions are feeding back into our drive systems." Patel's voice cut in, "Captain, they're right. The interaction between their alien tech and our modified mining equipment is creating some kind of cascading reaction. If we don't find a way to stabilize it, both ships will be torn apart," Rodriguez finished. She took a deep breath, considering their options. "First Speaker, I need to know everything about your drive technology. Right now." "Reality distortion field forming." Harrison shouted over the groaning of stressed metal. "The pirates, their sensors are going crazy. They can't get a weapons lock." The space around both ships began to warp and twist as Patel's impossible modification created a bubble of altered physics. The pirate fleet's first volley of weapons fire bent around them like light around a black hole. By the first dawn, Crix breathed, watching through the Dawncaller sensors. "You've created a localized spacetime anomaly using mining equipment. This goes against everything we know about physics." "Sometimes," Rodriguez replied, her hands steady on her command console despite the reality-bending forces around them, "the best way to solve a problem is to ignore what everyone knows is impossible. Patel, channel that plasma through the grapples. Let's show these pirates what happens when they push humans to get creative." The modified grapples, already transformed once from mining tools to weapons, now became conduits for forces that shouldn't exist. Streams of reality-warping plasma shot out, not so much damaging the pirate ships as temporarily removing the space they occupied from normal physics. Two of the pirate vessels simply vanished, reappearing 1,000 kilometers away, their systems completely scrambled. A third spun helplessly, its crew watching in horror as their hull briefly turned transparent. "The others are retreating," Harrison reported, his voice filled with awe. They're actually running away." As the remaining pirate ships fled into FTL, leaving their disabled companions behind, Rodriguez allowed herself to relax slightly. "Patel, power down that modification before we accidentally create a new form of spacetime." "Gladly, Captain. Though I should mention that what we just did will probably be classified as a war crime in at least 3 different star systems." First Speaker Crix's voice came through again, their translator struggling to convey their mixture of emotions. "Captain Rodriguez, I believe my species will need to seriously reconsider our definition of primitive technology. Your ability to improvise is unlike anything we've encountered in our 1,000 years of space travel." "That's humanity for you, First Speaker," Rodriguez replied with a small smile. "We specialize in doing the impossible, usually because nobody told us it was impossible in the first place." As both crews began assessing the aftermath of their unconventional victory, Rodriguez knew that this incident would change more than just pirate behavior in this sector. Humanity had just demonstrated why underestimating them was a serious mistake, even if you caught them in a simple mining ship. Harrison, she called, begin recording a report for Earth Command. And maybe leave out the part about breaking physics. I don't think they're ready for that paperwork yet. In the aftermath of their reality-bending battle, the Helios's bridge crew worked frantically to stabilize both ships. Warning lights flashed across every console as Patel's impossible modification threatened to tear holes in the fabric of spacetime. Engineering to bridge, Patel's voice was strained. We need to power down the plasma conversion system before it goes critical. The laws of physics are apparently filing a formal complaint. Understood, Chief. Begin shutdown sequence, Rodriguez ordered. She turned to her sensor officer. Harrison, status of our guests. The disabled pirate ships are dead in space, Captain. Their crews are alive but their systems are completely scrambled. As for the Dawn Caller. He paused, adjusting his readings. First speaker Crix is requesting immediate communication. The alien leader's image appeared on the main view screen, their compound eyes reflecting an array of colors that the human crew's translators identified as indicating extreme agitation. Captain Rodriguez, while we are grateful for your intervention, your methods have created a situation. Crix's mandibles clicked rapidly. Our sensors detect a growing quantum instability between our vessels. The spacetime distortions are feeding back into our drive systems. Patel's voice cut in, Captain, they're right. The interaction between their alien tech and our modified mining equipment is creating some kind of cascading reaction. If we don't find a way to stabilize it, both ships will be torn apart, Rodriguez finished. She took a deep breath, considering their options. First speaker, I need to know everything about your drive technology. Right now. The pirate capital ship emerged from hyperspace like a dark star, its massive hull bristling with weapons. Nearly 3 times the size of the Helios and Dawncaller combined, it represented the kind of overwhelming force that typically ended conflicts before they began. They're charging weapons, Harrison reported, his voice steady despite the threat. Their energy readings are off the charts. That ship could crack a small moon. The pirate commander's transmission came through on all frequencies, their translated voice dripping with contempt. Primitive humans and their alien collaborators. Your interference in our operations ends now. Surrender or be atomized. Rodriguez glanced at the readouts from engineering, where Patel and the Dawn-Caller's scientists were putting the final touches on their hybrid system. First speaker, are your people ready? As ready as one can be when attempting something that violates the fundamental laws of the universe, Crix replied, their mandibles twitching with what the translator suggested was wry humor. Your engineer Patel is quite persuasive in his theories about gravitational manipulation. He tends to have that effect on people. And physics. Rodriguez straightened in her command chair. All hands, prepare for possibly reality-altering maneuvers. Again. The pirate capital ship launched its first volley, a barrage of energy weapons that should have vaporized both vessels instantly. Instead, the beams encountered something entirely new, a field of twisted spacetime created by the combination of human mining technology and alien quantum mechanics. It's working. Patel's excited voice came through the comm, the hybrid field is bending their weapons fire into a closed loop. They're basically shooting themselves. The pirate commander's next transmission contained translations the computer deemed too explicit to repeat. Their second volley, even more powerful than the first, met the same fate. Now, Chief, Rodriguez ordered. Show them what happens when humans and aliens work together. Patel and his alien counterparts activated their jerry-rigged system. The space between the ships began to ripple and distort as the hybrid drive came fully online. Mining lasers, quantum fields, and impossible physics combined into something that made the pirate ship's sensors go completely haywire. By the void, First speaker Crix breathed, watching as their joint creation rewrote the rules of space combat. We're actually creating localized pockets of alternative physics. Your mining equipment is somehow quantum tunneling our drive field through multiple dimensions simultaneously. The pirate capital ship attempted to retreat, its massive engines flaring. But the space around it had other ideas. The hybrid field had created a bubble of altered reality where conventional propulsion simply didn't work the way it was supposed to. They're trapped, Harrison reported with a note of awe. Their engines are at full power, but they're not going anywhere. It's like they're trying to swim through solid rock. Rodriguez allowed herself a small smile. Send them one last message. Let's see if they're ready to reconsider their career choices. But before she could transmit, something unexpected happened. The hybrid field, powered by the combination of human determination and alien precision, began to resonate with the pirate ship's drive system. The massive vessel's hull started to glow with impossible colors as quantum effects cascaded through its systems. "Captain," Patel called urgently, "the field is doing something we didn't predict. It's not just stopping them, it's rewriting their ship's basic structure on a quantum level. If we don't stop it soon, their ship will be transformed into something else entirely," Crix finished. "Captain Rodriguez, we must deactivate the field or risk creating an entirely new form of matter." The pirate commander's next transmission was considerably more humble. "We surrender. For the love of all that's sacred, we surrender. Just make it stop." Rodriguez nodded to Patel. "Power down the hybrid system, Chief." Carefully. As the field dissipated, the pirate capital ship hung motionless in space, its once threatening bulk now seeming almost pitiful. Its hull had taken on a crystalline sheen ere the quantum effects had begun to reorganize its atomic structure. First speaker, Rodriguez addressed her alien ally, "I believe we've just revolutionized space warfare, physics, and possibly metallurgy. All because some pirates thought a mining ship would be an easy target." "Indeed." Crix's translator managed to convey both amusement and deep respect. "Captain, my people have long considered humans to be an unpredictable species, prone to dangerous improvisation and reckless innovation. Today has proven that we were entirely correct in this assessment." However, they added, mandibles clicking in what humans would later learn was their equivalent of a smile, "it has also proven that these qualities make you the most valuable allies one could hope for." As both crews began the process of securing the pirate vessel and its now very cooperative crew, Rodriguez reflected on how this incident would change things. A simple distress call had led to humanity's first official contact with alien life, the accidental invention of several new technologies, and a fundamental reconsideration of what was possible when different species worked together. "Harrison," she called to her sensor officer, "make sure all our logs are complete. When we report this to Earth Command, I want every detail recorded. Especially the part about how a mining ship and a merchant vessel just rewrote the laws of physics because we didn't know we couldn't." "Already done, Captain," Harrison replied with a grin. "Though I doubt anyone will believe us without proof." "Oh, I think that crystalline pirate ship out there will be proof enough." Rodriguez opened a channel to both crews. "This is the captain speaking. Today, we've done more than just stop some pirates. We've proven that the greatest discoveries come not from knowing what's possible, but from being willing to try the impossible. Together, we've opened up new possibilities for both our species. And," she added with a characteristic glint in her eye, "we've given the galaxy a very good reason to think twice before underestimating either of us." First speaker Crix's final transmission summed up what would become the official first contact report between their species. Perhaps the galaxy's greatest mistake was assuming that primitive meant harmless. "Your mining vessel has done more than save our ship, Captain Rodriguez. It has shown us that sometimes the most profound discoveries come from those who don't know enough to know what they cannot do." As the Helios and Dawncaller prepared to escort their crystalline prisoner to the nearest space station, the crews of both ships knew they had witnessed the beginning of something extraordinary. Humanity had made its mark on the galactic stage not through military might or advanced technology, but through their unique ability to turn mining equipment into reality-bending weapons through sheer determination and creative engineering. And somewhere in the vast expanse of space, a group of very nervous pirates was spreading the word, beware of human mining ships. They don't follow the rules of physics or anything else.